Right, so it's been a while, but I'm back to trading recaps, and this is a trade that I'm sharing from Monday, so yesterday, Monday the 23rd. If we check news, we didn't have much news. We had an FOMC member speaking, but I don't think it was important. It was an orange folder, if I believe. Yeah, so we had that. That was the news. So coming into the day, I missed the initial trade, although it would have gone against my rules, so I wouldn't have taken it anyways. However, there was a little short just here. If I put in the time sessions as well, we already have Asia set in, and London would be 8, and New York Open would be at 1. We had this liquidity 1 hour liquidity sweep just here. If we go on the 5 minutes time frame, we can see that we broke structure just on this candle. We also retested OTE and equilibrium on this candle. So if we go from, I usually use the bodies of the candles as they just work better. But yeah, we can see we tapped equilibrium and we got a reaction down. My entry would have been right here, and I would have set my stop loss at 10 pips probably. Yeah. And target some previous liquidity. If we go into the 1 hour and have a look, that would have been at probably this zone, because we had a market gap to fill. This market gap, these market gaps always get filled. If you want to consider it from here, I'd probably consider it that. Yeah, they always get filled, so we could have easily targeted this liquidity. That would have been a 1 to 4, which is great risk to reward in my opinion. However, this was not the trade I took. The trade I took was a bit lower. So we had the 4 hour up, and according to my rules, if the 4 hour is up, we have a clear break of structure just here. If the 4 hours up, we take longs. So I waited for a 1 hour draw on liquidity, which was this one just here, which was the short TP. And yeah, we got the break of structure. We got liquidity sweep, and from then on, I was trying to take longs and target areas at which I'm going to show. So we got the initial break of structure just at this point right there, and then I pulled a Gantt to get equilibrium, and as we can see right here, we hit EQ perfectly, and then we got a reaction out. So I entered long positions on this candle. Stop loss was just under the lowest low, although I didn't need to do that. I could have just had it under this low, and that would have been 8 pips. However, I did put it a bit lower just in case the market wanted to chop for a bit. However, in hindsight, I should have had it higher, because this was New York Open and we had swept everything. It's not like we had to sweep Asia or London. So yeah, that could have been an improvement for sure. And then I targeted a 1 to 3 risk to reward, which would have put me at, I think it was some sort of order block which I was targeting, which I don't usually do. However, I didn't think, I normally target liquidity, but for it to come up here and hit this liquidity zone, I thought was unlikely, and I didn't even get my TP here. So this would have been probably better to use one of these. This would have been the order block that I was targeting, and you can see the risk to reward is approximately 1 to 3 at the order block. And yeah, we went in profit. We went up to 2.5 R, which is pretty good, and it didn't hit my TP. I went to break even. It hit my break even at 1 a.m. and yeah, that was the trade. We also had a couple of fair value gaps and BPRs, which I did not pay attention to, which is a mistake of mine. But yeah, we had a BPR here and also a BPR just here. It didn't tap the top BPR. The first BPR got it, and we reversed down, which is fine. I expected after this liquidity sweep just here for price to range up, but it didn't, which is fine. It was Asia session, so we had to grab extra liquidity before heading high up. And yeah, that was the trade for yesterday. I broke even. Actually, I lost like $200 for fees, swap fees, and then break even. Got me out a bit later than break even, but yeah, that's not the end of the world. It was a good setup. I'd say it was a B tier setup, A/B tier setup. But yeah, that's not much more to say about this trade. These would have been the London highs, well, a London high, so I could have TP'd over there. However, I did want to get majority of the move, but I guess being greedy cost me to break even. So if we targeted the London highs, it would have been a 1 to 1.7, which was not really that great. Hence why I wanted to target 1 to 3. But yeah, that was that for yesterday. And yeah, on to today's trade, which I will have a recap tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and leave any comments for things that you want to know, anything about my strategy. And yeah, thank you.